The maximum price for electricity for households will rise in the second half of this year to 500 zloty per megawatt hour from 412 zloty. The move by those in power may come as a surprise because before the elections we heard that prices would fall. In Poland, we have calculated this with the participation of experts. There is no compelling reason not to keep the ceiling by the decision of the state regulators at no more than 600 zloty per megawatt hour for companies and about 450 zloty per megawatt hour for individual consumers. When Tusk uttered these words, the energy shield introduced by Law and Justice was already in effect. It was in 2022 that energy prices across the European Union reached record high levels as a result of Russia's energy blackmail. Just when Europe was mired in an energy crisis, Prime Minister Donald Tusk announced that the prices proposed by Law and Justice were high anyway. Today, and this I can say with all responsibility, I believe that today, if I were Prime Minister, electricity and gas bills could be half of what they are today. Reductions in electricity, gas and fuel prices are another of Donald Tusk's outdated promises alongside the 100 specifics. We can also forget about keeping food prices down. Business Insider in February reported that 40% of Poles will fall into energy poverty after the withdrawal of the shields. With the withdrawal of the programme freezing energy prices, the phenomenon of energy poverty, which as defined refers to households unable to provide sufficient heating, cooling, electricity in an inhabited building, will be accentuated. This is a red card for this government. Law and Justice has filed a motion of no confidence in Environment Minister Paulina Hennig-Kloska. We exert pressure to protect Poles from price increases for energy, water and fuel. Minister Kloska is responsible for a serious part of these problems because energy problems are her ministry. To a large extent, we are dealing with a smokescreen. That is, it is said that there will be some support, while if we read the details, it will be support from which most Poles will be excluded, and the cost will be transferred to virtually every consumer. We asked Poles what they think about rising prices. Today, meat like poultry went up again. We can manage. If we have to, we'll pay. This will be a tragedy for households. I don't think people are aware of what awaits them. I thought it would at least stay the way it was. And how much do you pay? 250 zloty a month. Are you ready to pay even more? No. For gas too. Prices will go up by 60%. Oh no, I already pay 1,800 zloty to 2,400 zloty for gas heating at the moment anyway. And yet Donald Tusk promised that prices would go down. Today, and this I can say with all responsibility, I believe that today, if I were Prime Minister, electricity and gas bills could be half what they are today because it is feasible. So I think it is crucial to reach the maximum group of people. You will de facto really earn more, and in the stores and on bills everything will be cheaper than when Law and Justice is in power. People who elected the current government and turned on some hopes with it must, first of all, feel this price hike and secondly associate that this is a matter of political change and, in fact, the consequence of their own choice. And it is always difficult to admit this, especially since this is the most Euro-enthusiastic part of society. So it will be all the more difficult to admit to themselves that this is also a consequence of European Union policy. Experts warn that the current energy price hikes are just a prelude to what is to come. A drastic increase in the cost of electricity will come in the next few years as a result of the European Union's climate policies, including ETS taxes, which significantly raise energy costs.